podcast, please, for those of you that have not followed us on Omiomio TV on YouTube. You can just check it now. Omiomio TV. You know, Omiomio TV is the grandfather of Doanuk. Doanuk is the Doanuk, which is the diary of a Nigerian in the UK. And what that particular podcast addresses is Nigerians for now, or Africans generally, immigrants generally, that come to this country and they want to make it. You understand? They want hammer, as we say in the Nigerian parlance. They want hammer. You understand? So, but when they come here, they don't know the strategies to actually apply on how to hammer. There are people that have stayed just 2-3 years. They've bought a house. There are people that stayed just 2-3 years, and we are doing things. You understand? Like people like us now, we've stayed long in this country. I don't know how long have you stayed, sir?
12 years.
12 years. Yeah, you are small. Now me, I've stayed 36 months. You understand? So there are some people that have stayed just and they are doing things, but they need that direction. So, and that is why with me here I have Tunji. Tunji, please, can you just quickly in 60 seconds tell us who you are and what do you do? If I meet somebody outside and say, who is Tunji Salami, what will I say?
Good evening, everyone. In a nutshell, I consult for the UK government on major programs, and I run 2 property companies in the UK.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you. It shows that you are the owner of that. And yes, Olajumoke Dokun. Yes, I know the name, but most of my audience don't know. Please, can you tell us who you are?
I'm a social worker, a senior social worker, and I also do best interest assessments.
Fantastic. A round of applause for Jumoke. Thank you. Yeah, microphone finds the TikToker. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mrs. Olaito Aikwele. She's known as Gima Talks in TikTok. You can check her out. Can we hear from you, please? Who are you, sir? Ma.
You say Ma.
Yes.
Yeah, so my name is Olaito Aikwele, better known as Gima Talks, because that's my brand. I'm a mental health practitioner and ADHD and autism specialist. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the next on my right, as the case may be, I don't know where he is. He is on your own side. He's Councillor Harold Ogunfemi, and I know that he's the chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Organization in Europe, NIDO. It be like that NIDO, they drink for Nigeria, but that's not it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me on the podcast Mr. Harold Ogunfemi. Please, can you tell us more, sir?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Harold Ogunfemi. I'm an entrepreneur, so I run business in 6 different areas at the moment. I'm a political councillor for Medway Council and the Isle of Grain, Rochester. I'm a parish councillor. I'm also the current chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Organization Europe, so the whole of Nigerian Diaspora Europe, with 23 countries under it. I was elected on the 9th of November 2024. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it. Yeah. You know, politicians in this part of the world, they are different from how we do it over there, you understand? Yeah, so at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, on the far right, far left, I don't know where he is from your side, I have a very gentleman there, but his name is Akin Edun. If you know Edun, that name in the Nigerian context, ministerial, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. He's a strategist and the man that pushes me to great limits, you understand? He's the man that made me realize that average is a crime. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's hear from the horse's mouth, even though it's not a horse. Let's hear from Akin Edun. Who are you, sir?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Akin Edun. I'm a principal at European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. It's just like the World Bank. And the good news is we're going into Sub-Saharan Africa region, and we're going to be doing lots of investment in Nigeria. And so do look out for us. We cut across all industry sectors, you know. So yeah, so looking forward to engage.
Yeah, you have just shot yourself in the leg. Have you seen my CV that I sent? All right, we'll talk about that later.
No, I haven't seen it. So.
Oh, okay, that's okay. A round of applause for my senior guest here. So yes, it's a live podcast, so you're going to have opportunity of answering 1 or 2 questions as the Spirit leads. Thank you. So at this point in time, I'm going to start from Dr. Tunji Salami. Dr. Tunji, where is the doctor coming from? Yeah.
Well, here I have a PhD here.
You have a
in strategic
PhD?
leadership. Yeah.
Okay. It's a hand of applause for them. It's not easy. Yeah. Okay, Tunji, you do projects for the government, right? Now, one of the things that people that come into this country suffer is the fact that they just feel that they can't get to certain levels. Are you getting my point? People here, they do some kind of jobs, which of course all jobs are actually the Bible says the dignity of labor. But however, there are some people that have some passion. They want to work for this government. You understand? So how were you able to, get into, the what you're doing right now? Advise there are a lot of people here that want to, because people that come here, they come with expectations and things like that. Can you guide them?
I think let's break it down in a summary. I didn't just jump there. Let's start from there.
Good.
And I'm sure that everyone who sits on here, they would agree with. There is no jumping there. So I started when we left Unilory.
Oh, yeah.
We studied economics.
You saw the light before me, yeah.
I came in here and then I did accounting. So I qualified as an accountant. I worked for KPMG. I worked for Ernst & Young.
Okay.
I worked for Citibank. I spent 8 years in Canary Wharf in the financial services.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I got invited by somebody into the government to come and lead a program on faster payments. I was a payment specialist.
How do you get to know the person that
Hold
invited
on now.
you? Okay,
Nobody you ask questions.
calm down. Okay, no problem.
So you can see that I've spent a long number of years in a certain area as an expert, as an SME, subject matter expert. Do you understand?
Subject matter expert.
All right, yes. So meaning that I have gained over a period of time some expertise. Because the problem we have in Nigeria is people just hear that, he's consulting for the government. They didn't know what he has done before he got there. So you are my friend, and then you come to me and say you want to do the same thing that I'm doing right now. The same thing that I'm doing right now is based on the number of years that I've spent. Not that I just started now.
So you can't just jump into it, basically.
So I didn't just jump into
here
it.
and people just come.
So-
People
so-
who don't stay long.
So the knowledge there, the benefit there for anyone who is listening
Okay.
is your ability to start somewhere and build skills, solid skills, not make your CV heavy. That's what I say. Now, I led a program called the Government Banking Services, right? The our UK government banks with the 14th department. So I led that in Washington, in a place called Washington, Newcastle. Now, from there, I loved the government, projects because it was more like it's something that I can relate to. It's something of, we were doing government banking services and there was a program called Universal Credit at the time, and I knew what Universal Credit was going to be before it was launched. So my team was working on this side, the Universal Credit team was working on that side. So I could see that, this benefit system is going to be changed. Then I have opportunity to contribute it. And that's how I started in government. Today, by the grace of God, I have delivered, not just for DWP, I have delivered for Cabinet Office, what we call FVS, 150 million pounds project. I have delivered for the Foreign Office, a 2.4 billion infrastructure project. I have delivered for the Ministry of Defense 3 times. Secret Services infrastructure project.
Thank you.
So those are major programs.
Thank you.
To the extent that you saw a congratulatory message that Oxford University gave me an
Oxford.
an award to come and study major program, and they gave me that award. You understand? Now, what I want to say, and this is not bragging, this is just a story of, it's not a story of, I just jumped there. It's a story of a lot of wala, a lot of endurance,
Exactly.
a lot of nights in the libraries, a lot of, things that I cannot be mentioning. So it's not like I just started managing major programs.
That's
Or
true.
I just become a consultant that somebody would now just ask me.
Thank
Because
you.
if you sit where I'm sitting right now
Yeah.
within the Ministry of Defense, I am not doing anything technical. I'm only sitting there and they ask me questions and then I'll answer. Before you can give those answers, you must have paid your price.
Okay.
So, therefore, the message there is that you want to do what I'm doing right now. It's not difficult, but start building skills. I'm teaching my children how to do that. Okay, my son is 19 now, and I'm teaching him how to build, not just, it's not even going to uni. This boy, he said he's not going to uni, and I'm not forcing him to go to uni. He wants to build codes, and he started already writing those codes, looking for a way to sell it to Google Campus. Now, at 19, if he's able to do that, and he wants to be bringing money home, and I'm not saying no, he's looking for the apprenticeship route instead. Something that he start working and he start making money. So, if you want to do that, build skills. And where did he learn this from? He learned it from this thing that I'm teaching now.
Fantastic.
That we must build skills.
Thank you so much.
Before we become a consultant.
Thank you.
Before we now assume a position.
Thank you.
God bless us.
A round of applause for Dr. Tunji. Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. Yes, I'll just move over. I'll come back to you. But at this moment, one of the things that most Nigerians, especially, and of course other Africans, when they come to this country, one of the things, if you sample major opinion, they will tell that the reason they came to this country is basically because of their children. Have you heard that? Yeah. But at the end of the day, some of them, they now lose the children to either the government directly or to the society. They don't understand them. Right? So, and it affects, you understand? The question will now lead on to the next professional. It's cutting mental health and everything. I know you have one or two examples. Can you talk through examples and tell us what we need to do? We need to hustle. You understand? So what do we need to do not to fall into that trap? So that at the end of the race, which is the big picture, the reason we came, like some people say, is the children, is achieved.
Thank you. I think the first thing I would say that most of the time when people come to UK, they already have an idea of what life is here. And they come here and they find out that life is totally different from what they thought it is. And then they're faced, and when they come, some people bring 4 children. And sometimes it's husband and wife, sometimes it's perhaps wife alone. And they think that it will be like Nigeria, when you can call a neighbor to come and look after your children, not knowing that your neighbor has to do night shifts and day shifts and all of that. And then one of the things I find that with us is that this is not an insult, but I find that Nigerians, they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to let go of what their culture is. You can't come to a country and not want to learn their culture. You're setting yourself off to fail. You cannot live the way you're living in Nigeria, in UK. It will never work. Never. So if the country says to you, they will never take your children unless there's abuse or neglect.
The way my father slapped me to my destiny, right?
You can't. If there's abuse, if there's neglect, you are likely to lose your children. And abuse is as simple as saying to people, the way the people build their children, they get belts, and you build your children with belts. And you say to them, so many people have called me up and they say, are you saying I cannot discipline my child? I say, I'm not telling you not to discipline your child, but make sure, I'm telling you now, don't do that. And if you ever do that and a social worker comes to your house, don't call me. Don't call me, because I've warned you. I have warned you. And because, when these children come, especially people with grown children, when they come here and they find out that there's a culture where parents cannot just beat you the way they used to beat you at home, the children will also go to their teacher and say, my mommy beats you. There's a particular child that went to tell their teacher because she thought if she told the teacher, maybe mommy would stop. She didn't know she was getting the mother in a massive trouble. So we can't come here and leave your 5-year-old at home, lock the door, and say you are going to work. You can't do that. You can't take a belt to a child. It's abuse. By definition of this culture, of the law of this land, beating a child with a belt is abuse. If you know that, then don't do it. Otherwise, pack your bags, pack your baggages, pack your children, and go back home. Please, when I say this, I come across as being harsh, but how many times people have called me, I can't count it. They call me in the middle of hey, Sister Jumoke, please. I'm like, for goodness, I told you. I already told you that you should not do this. You can't do this and get away with it.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for Jumoke. Some of these things are just like Nollywood, Nollywood film. There's part 1, part 2, part 3. Even if you want part 5, they will act it now for you. So there's going to be part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once more for Jumoke. Yes. We move over. Like I said, her question is dovetailing into the next professional, right? Sometimes when you don't practice all these things well, before you know it, either yourself or even the children, you understand, is now having mental issues. And we know that stress, like I developed the other day, stress plus additional stress minus relaxing your nerves is equal to distress. So, yes, and one of the things that men, they say men shouldn't cry and things like that. No, now, what should they do when all these things are hitting us in the head? You need to go to shift, you come back, no, can't sleep and all that. What is the import of stress, and how do we manage the stress to be able not to get all those mental issues and so on and so forth, to the extent that big picture will be achieved?
Thank you so very much. So when you're talking about stress, in a way, when stress is good, yes, it is, because it does keep you on the edge and make you to, to just be on the edge and be on the lookout. But the stress is a response to some kind of things going on in your life. Yeah. So then you have the fight or flight. So which is the adrenaline or cortisol. Yeah. So the thing there is that where you and I come from, I don't know whether you want to booger for the other person. You want to live large. You want to walk long days, tonight, to everything. You want to do that. Buy big cars. You want to, all of these things will make you to work, work, work. And I always tell people, sleep is your superpower. At least 7 hours is recommended. If you sleep well, if you don't sleep, it will mess up your brain chemistry. And the brain will not know when to switch off because you've messed it up. So, long hours, social media. You see Jima talks. Maybe I went to borrow the car and I post in front of, Jima, can I come and see you? You compare yourself to your followers. You compare yourself to your school, and you want to be like them. You work. Relationships. At the expense of your children, at the expense of your spouse. Yeah? All of this, it begins little. And by the time you get to that point, you break. And that is when we say nervous breakdown. So,
Yeah.
a lot of us are stressed. And research shows that at least 86% of adults in the UK will feel stress in a month. 86% in the UK. The environment is not helping. Nothing. So stress is one of those things.
Yeah.
And from there you go to depression. It can cause depression. It
Yeah.
can cause so many things.
Yeah.
People begin to
Yeah.
self-medicate by drinking, by, crying. Now you're talking about men.
Yeah, can they cry?
Yes, why can't men cry? It is because you've been told from where you're coming from to man up that men don't cry. That is why the men are likely to die because they bottle things up than the women. Women will talk a lot.
So you just
sit
talk,
down.
you just talk it out.
And it does help.
Men
because
bottle it in.
You bottle it in. You don't want to talk. You say, this is the stigma. And that is what, like me, Chima Talks, we want to break that cycle.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. A round of applause for Mr. Lighton. Yeah, so we move over. We don't have all the time in the world because, some people have already started going for shift. You understand? I understand. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have Councillor Harold Ogufemi here, and he is it right to say you're a politician, sir? Okay. Is it also right to say you're an entrepreneur, sir? Fantastic. That's a very good combination. No, when you have bread and fufu, eat it together. You understand? I learned that even bread now have protein. You understand? Yeah, it has protein now. So, ladies and gentlemen, most people, when they come to this country, again, we're always afraid. How did this man politician in this town? How? You understand? And I mean, somebody having a lot of stores and all that, and how did you do it, or how can you advise? I mean, gentlemen here that want to also, become a honorable, as the case may be, to how do you advise them? How would they go about, getting into politics? How would they go about, structuring their business as an entrepreneur and things like that?
Thank you. As for politics, politics in the United Kingdom is as easy as going to get your registration, your gym registration.
Are you serious?
It's even cheap. The gym registration is even cheaper than joining politics. For you to be a politician in the United Kingdom, you join a party. It depends on what the party pays, but for example, and I know some people will frown their faces now, I'm a Conservative councillor. So you pay your £50, you become a member, and you attend their meetings as normal. In your constituency or in your locality, if you want to be a councillor, then you put your name into it. You go through the stages of it, and if you get selected, you go for the election, and that's it. You don't really pay for elections or
You don't need to
campaigns.
have a driver's license. You don't need to
You
have
to-
a house.
You have to be over the age of 18. That's
Okay.
it.
Ah,
Yeah. Unlike Nigeria, where you spend a lot of money for campaigns and all that stuff,
know.
the party does that for you in United Kingdom. I tell my friends, and I've said it to many people, the ex-mayor where my businesses are in Grace used to be a taxi driver. And people will say, how can a mayor be a taxi driver? When I see him on a normal day, I can say whatever I want to him. But when I see him as the mayor, I have to bow down to him, but it's a taxi driver. So anybody can go into politics in the United Kingdom. So far, you have the credentials to be able to do that. Business-wise, not an easy task. Luckily, I have a wonderful wife there who is with me here.
Women, make some noise. That's good.
And supports me in everything I do. It has never been easy. I have a counterpart here, actually. Dola for 4 continents is here. She's,
Yeah.
I'm sure those of you know her. She's
Make
there as
some
well.
noise for 4 continents. 4 continents, yeah.
And she can attest to that. Running a business is not easy, but I'll say one thing. A lot of us go into business because we see somebody else making money. You failed. You have failed. You go into business because of your passion. And what I tell everyone that I've done, well, to God be the glory, among myself and my wife, we've done 14 so far, but 3 has gone wrong. But yes, we failed at it. We lost a lot of money, but we stood again. And the point is this. You start something, even when you're not making money, you enjoy doing that thing. Yeah, everybody has a skill. Doctor spoke earlier. He learned for so many years to actually get to where he got to. And that is the same thing with me. I failed in school. So when I finished my secondary school, I failed maths F9, biology F9, Nigerian language F9. My dad was away, and I knew if I was in Nigeria whilst my dad was there, I'll probably still be repeating that maths till today because I never knew it. But my mom was very nice. Said, you know what, go with your brothers, and that's how I came here. If not, I'd have failed. But I got to United Kingdom, and it was easier. The economics that I had C6 in, or C7, or C5 in, I was an A-star student here, and doing my stuff very well because of the way we were taught in Nigeria. However, going into business, I went into business. When I finished my degree, my brother said to me, "Oh, I'll pay for your master's." I was not interested because all I was thinking was I want to make money. All this book was not me. And I went into business, and I started there, and I started 26 years ago.
Fantastic.
I left the National Blood Service as a manager to go and start my own business. And I can remember my mom saying to me, my brothers reporting me to my mother and saying to me, "You have left a job as a director in National Health Service to come and start washing toilets," because I started the cleaning business. But I enjoyed what I did. I woke up, I loved cleaning. Then I went into the food industry, and I tell everybody here, if you want to go into the food industry, please, let's talk about it. You can't go wrong.
Okay.
But you must be prudent.
Yes.
You see, don't let the flashy things of life get in your way. Everybody has a skill. Everybody here has what God has given them, a talent that will make them who they are tomorrow.
Fantastic.
But you
Yeah.
need to find out
Fantastic.
and run with it.
Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for business counselor Harold Ugufemi. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, the gentleman at Adafa, and very amiable speaker, and he's my mentor, one of my mentors. You understand? I have a lot of mentors. You understand? So he's my mentor, and he's a strategist, and so I just want him to say something to to strategize us on how to actually make it in this country. Most time when I'm with him, he talks about strategy on how to talks about credit. He talks about real estate. Talks about development, finance, and things like that. So, sir, a lot of us came here one hammer, want to make it. So, how do we? You understand? How on a general basis? You understand? Whichever, I'm sure as I'm talking to you now, you are hearing with your left ears. Because when you hear with left ear, it's always very loud, sir. So tell us, advise us strategically how to actually go about it in this country.
Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
think the first thing is we all have a DNA of success in us. And that's one thing that you need to know. And with God's grace, if you can identify your own calling or your purpose, I think then you're on your way, really. The key thing is to have a plan. Obviously, we use all these buzzwords, strategy here, strategy there. It's just about planning, to be honest with you. You have a point A and a point B that you like to get to. And the next thing is to find a way to map your way to how to get to B, really. And that's what it's all about. It's always good to make use of this sort of environment as well, where you have so many people. Um, Try to make yourself visible, talk to people, because people have different experiences. I don't know it all. I mean, I've learned a lot from my friend here. So just have a plan, talk to people. We live in a great country where information is easily accessible. And I think that's all you need, really, information. Identify your pathways, find the ways to get there, talk to people. And the beauty of this country as well, you have like Citizen Advice Bureau, you have so many advocacy groups that can go to. Just approach them and they will help you out. That's the answer that I have for that question. But if I can just pivot back to politics, please. Because I'm a politician.
He's also a politician, sorry.
I'm a politician as
yes.
well. I mean, this is my political godfather, but let me just be serious with us all. We must do politics, believe you me. There's a lot of people that are here today. They have tons of money in Nigeria, but because they are not politically involved, because, when we lack power, we do not have anything. A lot of you have Benz, whatever. I see a lot of people driving Porsche now. One day I'll have my own too. But when you do not have power, you have nothing. You saw what happened yesterday, about 100,000 people. Elon Musk was there. So, this is my passion, politics. We have to do politics. We need to introduce our children to politics. Because if you do not have power, believe you me, you have nothing. Somebody can actually run you out of town. So I will leave you with that. Please, as you go back home today, I don't care what colors you're going to be. Blue for conservative, red for labor, leave them, even reform, I don't care. Just be part of it. Please, have a look, have an interest. Because if we do not have power, believe me, you can have all the money in the bank, you have nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, please cast your vote. Sorry, clap your hands for, you understand? Thank you. Okay, just one more word from you, Councillor.
He just actually stole my thoughts. I was going to please advise everybody here. The decisions that have been made in Medway Town, and those of you who have not even in Medway, but anywhere you are in United Kingdom, have been made for you. When are we going to start being the part of that decision-making process? Tomorrow, our children will wake up and say, Dad, you've been here. When they made this law, what were you doing? It's time for every single one of us to join a party, just like my brother said here. Join a party. Be part of it. Let us all put our hands in the plow and start making decisions together. It is time, it's too late now for them to make decisions for us. Anywhere Nigerians are found, we are among the best in the world.
Yes, boss.
Let us make decisions now to start making decisions for our future.
Just quickly, just start quickly in microseconds.
Yeah. So to be honest, what they've said, let me just share this with you, and it is just the absolute truth. To be involved politically is a power, even in business. See, I run my property business in Kent here, and one of my property, I had a problem with it. A councillor gathered people from the environment, and they were all against me. This property, if I lose it, is material. It's worth minimum maybe 1.2 million pounds. If anybody loses 1.2, I don't know about you guys, but if I lose 1.2 million pounds, I would know that I've lost money.
Of course. One cannot just point to.
Trust me.
For,
I only went to some councillors and I spoke to them one-on-one, and I said, this is it. And they all stood up and they were in my support. Imagine I know him and they were all politicians. At least if I cried to a white man who was supporting me to say, no, this guy has done something beautiful. Why are you all against him? Why? If I had more politicians on my side, maybe I would have won that case by now.
Should have cried to me.
You understand? So what they are saying, honestly, I am feeling it right now. And I want to say that if I have the opportunity, I have children in this country, I would push them into politics. And maybe I would, contact you guys to be mentors to my children. And on a final note, you want to be successful in an area, please look for a mentor. Look for a mentor. Look for someone who is already doing it.
Thank you.
Even if you are going to pay for it, look for
sir.
a mentor.
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all my panelists. Thank you so much for this question. Does anybody have just one question to ask? One question. Going. Gone. Thank you, Dr. Chinji, for coming around. Thank you so much. Okay, there is help there. Because there is a lady that said, I asked her where they were, said they work with MMM. So and I said, what happened? She said she has given help, but when it was her own time to get help, no help. And I told her, don't worry, help coming from above.
Please, the question quickly.
Yes, sir.
The question, not.
Okay.
Sorry, I just want to ask a question.
Okay.
I used to be a member of Conservative in London, but when we finally moved to Medway about 3 years ago, I've not been very active again. I don't know if I can, any of the guys, because you said you are a conservative as well. If I can get some advice and information about joining back. Okay.
Okay. I will speak to you just after this. But also you can go online and you'll find Rochester and Strood or Medway Council or Medway Conservatives. Our details are there. But I'll come and share the right information with you and you can join. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Chunji. Thank you, Olajumoke Doku. Thank you, Olaiton Aikwele. Thank you, Councillor Harold Ogufeme. And thank you, Akin Edun. You know, he's a gentleman. Right.